Written by Valmiki. This is 31st episode. Finally the war ended. Written and read by MadanMohan Tarun. Ram ordered his army to attack on Lanka after all his attempts failed to stop the ruinous war. It was a war between the two different concepts of life. It was a war to recover and re-establish higher values and virtues which were compromised out of personal whims of a monstrous mind. It was a war to establish a society where nobody was slave to anybody, and every individual was free to lead a respectable life with his head high in the society, respecting other way of life. It was a war against Ravanness, under which everything was taken as a thing granted to be utilized in any way, at any time, including men and women both. They survived at the pleasure of the ruler. It was a war against a monstrous establishment which was dominated by the rapists, murderers, and egoists. It was a war against those who had turned the earth into a jungle ruled by carnivorous animals free to move in any way and do anything as per their whims by virtues of their being the rulers, chosen and appointed by them. Here the full sky was occupied by vultures. Birds with multicolored feathers had no place to spread their feathers freely and sing their songs. The earth was unable to allow flowers of tender feelings to bloom with their natural fragrance. It was a war which gave expression to hidden powers of common people in the forms of monkeys and bears who suffered the anarchical rule of Ravan under the leadership of Ram, who was a rare combination of tolerance and aggression, both who had body of rock and soul of flowers and determined mind to allow fresh wind from all sides. He generated the high feeling of self-respect and boundless enthusiasm to do something new in this life among all his followers, out of which they constructed a bridge over the ocean. Hanuman took a flying jump from Lanka to Kailash to bring Sanjeevani to save Lakshman, who was on the verge of death after Meghnad applied his killer missile on him. Hanuman carried a huge part of mountain on his palm to Lanka with his flying speed. Finally the war ended. Kumbhakarna, Meghnad, many other great heroes with boundless abilities and capacities were killed, for they were supporting a side which had no support of virtuous base to stand for. Ravan would have been registered by the history as a great warrior, a scholar of a high nobility, and a poet of great genius to produce an unequal poem like Sivatandava, but he turned to be a virtueless, hollow personality. He made himself known as a destructor, not a protector, as an abductor of women, a rapist, and an anarchist, and a virtueless fellow. Finally, he was killed as an ordinary animal. The rule of Lanka was replaced by Bibhishan, who revolted against Ravanness and took the side of powers against the dominance of evils.